Hey everybody, happy Monday, October 18th. October's just flying by. I hope you're all doing well. It's a beautiful fall day here in the Kansas City area. Got our windows open, enjoying some fresh air, hoping my allergies don't flare up from all that. If you're here, say hello. I'm going to make sure my comments are showing. I'd love to chat with you. We are back this week at our regular 2 p.m. Make It Monday time. So it's kind of nice to be back in our normal time slot. My office right now, my craft room is, I don't know, you can probably see in the back, it's a little bit of a wreck. You know how when you're organizing things and it gets worse before it gets better? That's the stage I'm in right now. It's getting worse before it gets better, but there has been some great improvement. I worked in here all day Friday and made a lot of progress. So I'm really happy about that. And Sunday, yesterday, I actually cleaned my closet out, which needed it a lot. So I have bags and boxes to take to drop off at Goodwill. I got rid of a lot of things so I can know what I do have. Anyway, hi Donna. It's good to have you guys here. I'm going to switch my cameras over. I guess I can move. Whoops. One of these days I'm going to figure this out. There we go. Don't forget the host code for October, and I've also got it up here in the corner of the screen. If you use the host code when you place an order of $50 or more, you will receive a card kit this month, and I am working on that, but just rest assured they will be beautiful multi-layered cards with embellishment. So, hi Kathy. So that is what, let's see, that's more straight, isn't it? That's what I'm working on now. But today I have another interactive card. Remember we made this card last week with the Whirl It dies. Kind of a fun little interactive card. So today we're making a swing card, an easy swing card. I don't know if it's a fun fold or an interactive card, but it does have movement, so that's kind of fun. And I'm loving this paper. And I'm using the same stamp set that I used last week, the Clever Cats. It's a standalone stamp set. But I am using some circle dies. And here's a card I made Friday, I think, when I was cleaning my office. I had to stop for a craft break. And I just used our circle dies to create this card. I just did a bunch of circles on a piece of basic black and then stamped some of the images from the Clever Cat stamp set on there, like they're peeking out the little windows, and then added some Granny Apple Green stars for just a little bit of a color, So there's 3 different samples using the Clever Cats stamp set. But today, this swing card, you could, this doesn't have to be a Halloween card, obviously. Whatever you can get to fit into your little, I'm using a circle die, but you could use a square die or a label die. I'm going to show you how I did that. So you can figure out what you've got in your stash and make your own swing card. I'm going to take my paper trimmer, and I'm using a regular card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm going to score it. I've already done it, but just so I wouldn't mess up on camera. I'm going to score it with the scoring blade, not the cutting blade, at 2 1/8, and then scooch it on over. and score it at 4 1/4, just like you were making a regular card. You're just going to have this extra little fold. Basically, we split the 4 1/4 in half at 2 1/8. Then we're going to do a little die cutting. I'm going to take this piece with the 2 1/8 and my circle die, and I'm using this one, which is the second largest circle, not scallop circle, but straight line circle. And depending on your stamped image, that would depend on how big you want your little shape to be. And then I'm going to line that circle up just with that score line right down the middle. You can see that 2 1/8 score line right down the middle. Now I'm going to stick it. I'm looking at my sample because I don't want to mess this cut up. I'm going to go ahead and bring my die cutting machine over here so you can kind of see what I'm going to do, because we're only going to partially cut this. We don't want anything on this end of the circle to cut. So I'm going to take my plate and I'm just going to line it up with that score line. And that way this part will cut, but this part will not. It'll just fly right through the machine. Oh, and my circle just moved. I'm going to use a little bit more tape. I don't want that to happen. I'm just kind of eyeballing it here. Alrighty. So I'm lining my top plate up with that 2 1/8 score line. And this is where it's going to be hard doing it sideways. I think it worked. Everything flew, but it worked. We're going to use that in just a minute, so I'm going to just set that aside. And there's our little flap. Get my tape off of here. So this is how we're going to fold our card front. Okay, see how simple that was? So easy. Then I'm going to take a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 inch designer series paper. This is the cute Halloween 6 by 6 paper. It's so adorable. Look at those pink little bats. There's some traditional prints. There's the little kitty cats. These go with our bundle. Let me pull my catalog if I have it. I don't have it. But there's a bundle that the punch and everything will punch out the ghosts and the kitty cats. It was on back order for a while, so I did not order it. But it may be back in stock. I should grab my catalog and let you know that. But the little punches will punch out these little ghosts and the kitty cats and pumpkins. I just love this cute paper. Hi, Ariel. Okay, then I put a little strip of the designer series paper out here, but I need to add the little cutout. So to do that, this is 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. I'm going to take that same circle die, which was the largest. Was it the second to the largest? Was the second to the largest, sorry. And I could have cut that with the paper on there, but I didn't want to deal with that. So I'm going to just want my paper right here, and I'm going to line my die up on this side with that that edge of the circle, and then tape it right here onto my DSP. Now, if you wanted to leave this just blank and then just put your strip of DSP on this inside panel, it fits perfectly. But I kind of wanted it on the outside, so I wanted to show you how I did that. So I'm going to run that through. Ariel, thank you for the pumpkins. Very gently take that off. And then that's going to fit real nice right here on my this little edge. So I'm going to put some glue on there. Whoops. Okay, so when the card is open, it looks like that. Now, for the center part, I cut with the next size down. So this is the second largest. I think I chose the third largest circle die, and I cut 2 circles out of basic white. One is for this little guy, and then one is for my inside sentiment. So I'm going to stamp our little pumpkin guy. And I am using black Memento and pumpkin pie, of course, and some gorgeous grape. Everything's falling. Trying to get that out of the way. There we go. Now, since I'm using photopolymer stamps, I like to use my, I like to give it a little cushion with my paper piercing mat. And I'm going to stamp my little pumpkin guy. With the Memento, and then there's a little image for the inside of the pumpkin, and I'm going to use the pumpkin pie for that. There we go. And then I'm going to add some little bats. I'm just using the smallest little bat image. At first, let's put our little cat face on. There's a special little cat that you can have peeking out from the pumpkin. Little cat ears and whiskers. So I'm going to stamp this little guy right there. Isn't that cute? And now I'm going to do some gorgeous grape bats just flying around. On that guy. And while we're at it, why don't we stamp our inside? Since I'm using that small circle, I'm going to use the Gorgeous Grape again for my sentiment, and I'm just using the It's Halloween so I can have room to leave my signature or my note. I'm going to put it over a little to the right of the circle because I'm going to add my little spider. He's just kind of dangling out, hanging out. There we go. So that's all the stamping, so we can put our ink away. And I'm just going to adhere these stamped circles onto the card. This one's going to go right here in front. And then this one, I'm going to, I want it to be right behind that other circle. So just make sure when you're adhering that one to the inside that it's going to be hidden back there. There we go. Good to go. And that is the card. How easy was that? Isn't that cute? I just love that paper. So that is a swing card. Like I said, depending on your stamped image, that would depend on what size. Like if you had a lot that you wanted to include, use this larger die, or use the scalloped die, and then for your stamped part, layer it with the straight edge circle. So that's how you would determine. And if you had a smaller image on there, of course you would use a smaller circle die. But that is a quick and easy swing card. So it's kind of cute, kind of clever. I don't know if it's an interactive card or a fancy fold, both maybe. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I will be back here on Wednesday. I'm not sure what time as of yet, but I will let you know. So you guys have a good afternoon, and we will talk soon. Bye-bye.